The big arena in Bangkok was full of noise and excitement. It felt like a giant oven, hot and sweaty, and it smelled strong, kind of like medicine and sweat all mixed together. The lights above the ring were super bright, and the sound of cheering people filled the air. Everyone was shouting, clapping, and jumping. Some were from Thailand, some were tourists, and others were big fans of a special kind of fighting called Muay Thai. Everyone was waiting for the fight to begin. Before the match started, the fighters did a special dance. It was a very old and important dance, like a secret tradition. When it ended, the crowd got even louder, ready to see punches and kicks. The ring was in the middle. It had soft blue ropes around it and a floor that looked old and stained from many fights before. It was like a stage where only the strongest and bravest people could win. In a dark part of the VIP seats, close to the ring but hidden in shadows, a man sat quietly. His name was Jason Statham. Most people didn't even notice him. He wore a black shirt made of light cloth, and it was sticking to his muscles because it was so hot. His arms looked like ropes, strong and thick. His eyes were sharp and serious. He watched the fighters carefully, like a lion watching its prey. All around Jason, rich people were laughing and drinking expensive drinks. They were making bets about who would win. To them, Jason was just another person in the crowd. They didn't know who he really was. In the ring, there was a fighter named Natapong. He was from Thailand and looked super strong. His skin had scars and tattoos that told stories about the fights he had won. He moved like a storm, fast and powerful. Everyone in Bangkok knew his name. People said he had won so many fights, and some said he had the strongest kicks in the city. A man with lots of hair gel and a rough voice grabbed a microphone. He was the announcer and talked loudly to the crowd. He told everyone that the big match was starting soon. Then, something surprising happened. Natapong took the microphone from the announcer. He spoke in clear English because he had fought in many countries before. "This is real Muay Thai," Natapong said loudly. "No fake fights for movies. Actors only pretend to fight. They cry when they get hurt. You there," he shouted, pointing at Jason. "Yeah, you. Movie star. You look tough on screen, but I bet you can't even take one real kick." The whole crowd laughed and shouted. They liked seeing someone tease a famous movie actor. They thought Jason would be scared or embarrassed. Then, the lights in the arena changed. A big spotlight shined right on Jason. Everyone stared at him, whispering, "Is that really the movie star?" someone asked. "Is that the guy from the action films?" Jason didn't move. He sat still like a statue, but his eyes were bright and full of fire. He looked calm, but there was something dangerous in his look. Natapong leaned on the ropes and laughed more. "Come on, Hollywood," he yelled. "You're scared. Go back to your movies. This is where real men fight." The arena got very quiet. It felt like the whole place was holding its breath. Then, slowly, Jason stood up. He didn't rush. He moved like a knife being pulled out, smooth and sharp. The rich people around him moved out of the way. They could feel something big was about to happen. Jason walked to the edge of the ring and looked straight at Natapong. His hands were relaxed at his sides. He didn't smile or frown. He just stared. "Talking is easy," Jason said in a low, deep voice with his rough British accent. "You want a real fight? Let's do it. No more talking." The crowd went wild. People jumped up and screamed. Some clapped. Some gasped. The whole place felt like it was shaking from all the noise. Natapong looked surprised for a second. His smile got smaller. Jason wasn't joking. He was serious. A man in a fancy suit ran to the ring. He was the fight promoter. He loved when crazy things like this happened. It meant more tickets, more money, more fans. He whispered to the referee and then turned to the crowd with a big grin. "Special match," he shouted. "Movie star versus Thai champion. 1 round. Real Muay Thai rules." Everyone screamed even louder. But Jason raised one hand and the whole place went quiet again. "No games," Jason said. "Not for fun. You fight me with your rules. I fight with my fists." He took off his shirt. His body wasn't shiny or fake-looking. It was full of old scars and real muscles. Not like the ones you see in movies. People in the crowd stopped laughing. They looked again and started to wonder if Jason really was just an actor. Natapong smiled again, but now it was smaller. There was a little nervous look in his eyes. Jason didn't want gloves. He wrapped his hands with old tape, moving fast like he'd done it 100 times before. "Bare knuckles," he said to the ref. "Let's make it real." The referee, An old man who had seen lots of fights nodded. He could feel this was something different. The bell rang. Ding. Everything got quiet. All eyes were on the ring. The lights shined down. The air felt heavy. It was time to fight. Natapong moved fast, bouncing on his toes like a boxer. His muscles were tight, ready to strike. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. Jason didn't bounce. He just stepped forward, slow and steady. His fists were up, but relaxed. He looked like he belonged in the ring. Natapong came in first, swinging his leg in a fast, strong kick. It cut through the air like lightning. Whack! But Jason moved just in time. He slid back, and the kick missed by inches. The crowd gasped. Jason didn't wait. He stepped forward fast and threw a punch. It hit Natapong in the chest like a hammer. Natapong stumbled back, surprised. This wasn't a movie. Jason could really fight. Natapong tried another kick. This one hit Jason on the side. It made a loud smack. But Jason didn't fall. He took it and stayed standing, breathing hard. Jason's eyes didn't blink. He stepped forward again. Punch. Punch. Duck. Uppercut. Natapong blocked one, missed the other. The punches were real, and they hurt. The crowd was going wild. Some cheered for Jason now. Others shouted for Natapong. No one expected a real fight like this. Jason grabbed Natapong and spun him. They both crashed against the ropes. The ref stepped closer, watching, but he didn't stop it. Natapong got free and kicked Jason again, right in the leg. Jason winced but didn't fall. He gritted his teeth and kept going. Then, with a sudden move, Jason punched straight into Natapong's stomach. It made a loud thump. Natapong gasped and dropped to one knee. The crowd screamed. Jason stepped back, giving him space. He didn't show off. He just stood waiting. The ref counted. 1, 2, 3. Natapong stood up, shaking his head. He was tough. He wasn't done. But now he looked tired. His arms were slower. His eyes are less sharp. Jason moved again. This time, he dodged every kick. His feet were quick, his punches like hammers. Then came the final punch. A big, strong uppercut that hit Natapong under the chin. Boom! Natapong flew back and hit the mat. Flat. The crowd stood still. Silence. The ref checked him. Then lifted Jason's arm. Winner, Jason Statham. The crowd exploded. Cheers, shouts, claps, even some tears. It was a fight no one would forget. Natapong slowly sat up, rubbing his chin. He looked at Jason, then nodded. "You're not just a movie star," he said softly. "You're a real fighter." Jason just nodded back, breathing hard. His shirt was gone. His skin was red from kicks. But he stood tall. The crowd kept cheering. Some chanted his name. Others clapped for both fighters. Jason didn't smile much. He walked back to the VIP seats, still quiet. Still calm. But everyone saw him now. Not as a star. As a warrior. Natapong came out like a storm. His strong leg kicked at Jason's legs again and again. Each kick was very hard, like it could break bones. He wanted to hurt Jason and end the fight fast. The people in the crowd leaned forward. They thought Jason would fall soon. Natapong laughed and teased Jason. "Dance, movie boy," he said in a mean voice. One of Natapong's fast kicks hit Jason's leg and left a big red mark. It burned under the bright lights. The people got more excited. They could feel something big was about to happen. Their loud cheering filled the whole building like a big wave. Everyone thought Natapong would win quickly. But Jason didn't fall. He moved carefully, like he knew what he was doing. His steps were quick and smart. He didn't look scared. He didn't try to hit back wildly. He didn't try to look cool for the crowd. Instead, he watched Natapong very closely. It was like Jason was a lion waiting quietly for the right moment to attack. He was calm, and that made Natapong angry. Jason didn't talk back. He didn't laugh. He just stayed focused. That made some people in the crowd stop laughing too. They started to whisper. They were surprised. Jason was taking all the hits and still standing strong. His eyes never looked away from Natapong. His face and body showed he was in control. He wasn't afraid. Natapong got more annoyed. He tried to tease Jason more. He shouted, "What's this? Movie tricks? Hit me, pretty face." Then he punched Jason very fast. His first cut Jason's cheek. A thin line of red blood showed up on Jason's face. The crowd gasped. Everyone wondered if the movie star would give up now. Natapong hit Jason in the ribs with his knee. There was a loud cracking sound, like something breaking. Jason couldn't breathe for a second and made a sharp sound. Natapong laughed again and walked around Jason like a hungry wolf. "You're done, Hollywood," Natapong said. "Go back to making movies." Natapong's words were mean. But Jason didn't give up. He wasn't just a movie star. He had grown up in the rough streets of London. He used to fight in back alleys with real punches, long before he became famous. He trained with real fighters, not just to play roles in movies, but because he wanted to be strong and real. He didn't want people to think he was fake. That same fire burned inside him now. Even though he was hurting badly, Jason stayed calm. His ribs ached. His cheeks stung. But he didn't fall. He didn't stop. He moved forward suddenly. He grabbed Natapong and pulled him close. That move is called a clinch. He used Natapong's own speed to throw him off balance. Then Jason hit Natapong in the belly with his knee. Natapong made a loud sound like oof, and stopped talking for a moment. The crowd stopped too. Then they roared with surprise. Jason was fighting back. The people started to get excited in a new way. They weren't just watching a movie star anymore. They were watching a real fighter. Jason kept going. He hit Natapong in the face with his elbow. It was a strong hit. The sound was loud, bone hitting bone. Natapong wobbled. His cool attitude was starting to disappear. But Natapong wasn't someone who gave up easily. He came back with more wild kicks and punches. One of his elbows hit Jason on the side of the head. The crowd gasped again. They stopped cheering. Everyone waited to see what would happen. Jason swayed a little. His vision went blurry. But he didn't fall. He kept standing. He had trained too hard for this. His feet stayed strong on the ground. His heart and mind were like steel cables. He would not break. The energy in the arena changed. The people could feel it. This wasn't just a show. This was real. The fight was real. Jason was real. Everyone watched closely. Time ticked slowly. Every second felt like a minute. Natapong knew this was his last chance. His pride was on the line. He wanted to knock Jason out. He wanted to win and show everyone he was better. He threw a big punch, straight at Jason's face. If it hit, the fight would be over. Everyone held their breath. The whole place went quiet. Jason moved fast. He ducked down. The punch missed. Then Jason spun around and hit Natapong with his elbow again. This time it was even harder. The elbow hit Natapong's jaw with a loud crunch. Sweat flew through the air. Natapong fell to the ground. His eyes looked lost. His strength was gone. The referee stepped in and waved his hands. The fight was over. The bell rang. Jason had won. Not because of points. Not because of luck. He won because he didn't give up. He kept going even when it hurt. He stayed strong when others would have stopped. The crowd went wild. They screamed and clapped. The building shook with all the noise. Everyone saw it. Jason wasn't just an actor. He was a fighter. A real one. Jason stood there. His ribs hurt badly. His face was bleeding. But he didn't fall. He didn't smile. He didn't wave at the crowd. He just looked at Natapong, who was trying to stand up with help from the referee. Natapong looked at Jason. For the first time, he didn't look angry or proud. He looked respectful. He knew Jason had earned the win. Not with tricks. Not with fame. But with heart and power. Natapong took the microphone. His voice was tired. He didn't shout. He didn't tease. He just said, "Movie star but true fighter." Each word was full of meaning. The crowd cheered louder than ever. Not just because Jason won, but because of the truth. The fight showed who Jason really was. Two worlds had come together. A movie star and a real fighter. And Jason proved himself with every hit, every block, every step. Jason left the ring. Every move hurts. His body was sore. But he stood tall. People tried to talk to him. VIPs with cameras and phones tried to take pictures. They said many things. But Jason didn't stop for them. He didn't need their cheers. He had done what he came to do. He fought Natapong, a real Muay Thai champion. He didn't run away. He didn't act. He fought with his heart. And he won. Now no one could say he was fake. No one could laugh at him again. He had earned their respect. Not with words. Not with movies. But with sweat, blood, and strength. He walked out of the hot Bangkok arena as a hero. A real one. Did you enjoy the story? I'd love to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you had fun, make sure to subscribe and tap the bell so you never miss the next adventure. Thanks for being here, and as always, stay curious, stay bold, and keep exploring.